crazy. That's a lot of wood.
Yeah. Imagine if that was just one tree.
Yeah.
Because I imagine that probably sprouted from an old tree that was cut. And they tend, you know, they come up in multiples, and then more often than not they die out, but every now and then a bunch of them stay. So, yeah, that's impressive.
150 years.
Probably, yeah. You could core it someday. It's good future growth, but yeah, for what you're going for, it's not creating the understory you want.
So how could we improve the understory, the stem density here, if we don't have the ability to cut down the big trees?
I mean, you could go through. You got to decide. You know, do you want to keep that big hickory long term, and then you just kind of start over with the little stuff, just kind of like we talked. You know, do a little clear cut, just lay trees down and let them sprout and other shrubs regenerate in there, or you go the other route and just cut a big tree down and benefit from that canopy opening, and let the little ones grow up.
And you said the value of a tree like that hickory per tree.
Yeah, you're looking at $75, $100 a tree for stuff like that. So you get enough of them, but right now I haven't seen a whole lot, you know, to sustain it on its own.
So we've got a few fruit trees of some sort, maybe pears. And if we were going to release these, we could cut some of these elms out. There's prickly ash in here. Did you say before we need to be concerned about the just whatever would be covering the sun from hitting the upper leaves?
Yeah, I wouldn't worry so much about the the understory prickly ash. You know, just whatever's competing with the canopy, really.
Okay, so it's the canopy, and it's not what you said earlier today was it's not necessarily connected to any direction of the sun or whether it's morning sun or afternoon sun. It's just trying to increase total sun at any time of the day.
Yeah.
And then root competition doesn't really matter that much.
Not as much, no. When it's a small, you know, yeah, the root competition of this elm tree is obviously going to be more than if that was 3 1-inch prickly ash stems. So, yeah, in this case, yeah, you might be competing with it, but yeah, if it was prickly ash, I wouldn't worry so much about it.
And then just looking at it right now, it looks like we've got maybe, are those cottonwoods along the ditch?
Yeah.
And so they'd be blocking the western sun, and they might be kind of tough to get down.
Especially along the ditch, it gets tricky.
So the tree there next to Matt that snapped off when we tried to hinge it, do you think it would have sprouted any more vigorously if we'd have just flush cut it after it snapped off?
Yeah.
So some of these...
There is a little bit of an exception. It seems to push through a lot more than other species will handle, but I think you'd get more distinct stems from a flush cut than you would something like that. But I've seen box elder fall over from its root and then just turn up and start growing and turn into like 20 trees. You know, it's just pretty special in that regard.
But they will sprout vigorously, won't they?
Yep.
So we've been able to make this kind of thick. There's another fruit tree right there, I think. But I'm always thinking about thermal cover in this area too. And is this an area where you think maybe the white pines would be an option if they can tolerate a little bit more shade?
Yeah, there's pretty decent sunlight here. Yeah, you could do white. You can keep the deer off of them. You can grow them. You got to plant them pretty tight for thermal cover.
Well, is there a better option for this area?
No, it's just, yeah, they just have to be planted real tight. For any of them, cedar, spruce, you know, white pine, you just gotta plant them real tight.